Hi everyone, and welcome to the Christmas New Year period. I'm totally Speedway's Daniel Powell. Just straighten up my hat. We're going to be trying this every night from Boxing Day through to the next, into the new year. So guys, just wanting to wish everyone a happy Christmas. I hope they had a great day yesterday. I certainly did. But now it's the business time. Christmas has arrived twice. So what I'm going to be doing, without further ado, as I crack my knuckles, we're talking about tonight's action. So it's a little bit late as I get there, but at work on Boxing Day, but that's all well and good. I love what I do. So, guys, so what we've got first up, we've got some big news that happened this morning. Stephen Lyons, there's been rumours going around that Lyonsy and Hall's Motorsport team owner Brian Hall things weren't too good within the team. And that was confirmed this morning when Lyonsy done a Facebook post announcing that Brian Hall has closed the whole team down and sold it off to Dave Horrell. And Lyonsy is running tonight for the opening round of World Series Sprint Cars and Speed Week. And he's running under the Dave Horrell team now. So there was rumours, going around what was happening, everything like that. Obviously, there was some unrest between Dave Sharman, who's a new crew chief, and the team owner, Brian Hall. That obviously read ahead leading into the Christmas New Year period. And, everything is now, in the hands of Dave Hall, and Lyons is going to be running for them. So it's going to be business as usual. A week's a long time in Speedway, a couple of days for that matter. So, Brian Hall is no longer, he's no longer a team owner. Myself, Daniel Powell, have a long association with Brian and Lyons and all that, so it's a shock to me as well, but nothing's forever. But Brian Hall has certainly made a huge contribution to Speedway across the country, having his own sons in the car, Greg and David, Kerry Madsen for a period back in 2010. Done the World of Outlaws with Kerry Madsen, and where Kerry Madsen ran fifth in the Knoxville National. That was his best finish to date at that time. And now it's come to an obviously Ryan Farrell's driven for the Halls Motorsport team, and Lyons obviously in recent years and had a lot of success. But nothing's forever. But Brian Hall certainly made a huge contribution to the sport of Speedway sort of thing. But now Lyons is got new horizons, and Dave Horrell's come along and picked up the team all within the space of a couple of weeks. So they didn't run at Premier Speedways, so that was the Max's race, even though it was advertised. But the tongues were wagging from there, from that point, what was happening with the team. And then obviously this morning, Lyonsy confirmed that with everything. So, congratulations, to Lyonsy, and hopefully it all comes through. But also, thanks to Brian Hall for his huge contribution to the sport of Speedway. So hopefully he's not lost for the moment from the sport. So, let's move on. So we've got the opening round of World Series. So now 16 contracted drivers. We've got 4 American drivers, very talented American drivers, I might add as well. And World Series is coming, this is the biggest year. It's the 31st year. World Series has had its peaks and troughs, probably in recent years, more troughs than peaks. But now, we're coming to the opening round. I'm really excited. The opening round tonight is at Murray Bridge Speedway in South Australia. So that's the first of 2 nights. So we have a double header to kick off Speed Week at the same track. So that's good for teams. They can have a good, running around just around Murray Bridge for the first 2 nights. Then they go on the 28th of this month, they go to Mount Gambier's Borderline Splitter, so that's the venue for this season's Australian 410 Sprint Car title. So we've got that, then have a night off, then they go straight into Avalon Race on Geelong in Victoria on the 30th, and then have Christmas Eve off, but then back on New Year's Day, the traditional meeting at Warrnambool's Premier Speedway. So that's all exciting. So we've got there. So World Series is going to kick off in terms of picking a winner. Obviously, Monty Motorsport team and defending series champion, the Monty Motorsport team with James McFadden. James heading into this round has had or into the opening round, has had 4 wins from 5 starts with the Monty Motorsport team. He's had 6 starts, and yeah, that's included a couple of minor podium finishes as well. So yeah, James McFadden is certainly in great form, and he is looking to go back-to-back, no doubt. So, and of course, Quickie Motorsport and the Jamie Veal team, they're an exciting new combination. Plenty was talked about during the off-season, but now it's the start of World Series. And World Series having back-to-back nights at Murray Bridge Spreader, this can even make or break your championship campaign. You want to get it off to a good start. You want to get the confidence up, because it's a long trip on the road. You've got a lot of racing coming over the next 2 months, and it starts now. And all the preparation that you've done leads up to now. So if you're not on your ball, or the preparation is not good, then you're going to have some problems on the road, and you're going to be chasing your tail from here on in. So we go over. So in terms of 16 contracted drivers, so heading that field, obviously McFadden and Jamie Veal. Darren Molyneux, of course, is great form, won the Max's race 2 weeks ago. What's for days now? What day is it today? I think it's Tuesday. Darren Molyneux will be up there. David Mercott, of course, he'll be there. Brad Keller's no slouch. He's certainly hit some good form heading into World Series. We've got 4 Americans in total that have joined. And of course, we've got Kerry Madsen, who's obviously one of our own, but he's based in America these days. But he's doing the entire Speedway series, running for the Connecticut team. He's the current and 3-time Australian champion. So he'll be doing Speedway, and Kerry has been fast. He's had 2 appearances so far. Unlucky at the Western Australian 410 title earlier this month at the Perth Motorplex, and then at Warrnambool's Premier Speedo, he was running strongly, put it on pole position, but then slipped back in the latter stages to run third. So but Kerry will be on the ball heading into Speedway tonight. Murray Bridge Speedo hasn't been the best of hunting grounds for him in the past, so he'll be looking to turn that around. In terms of the Americans, so we've got the 2 contracted Americans in Dominic Scelzi. So he's from Fresno in California. Fresno, I think that's how you say. And Carson Macedo, he's from Central Indiana. So Dominic Scelzi, he's running for the Warrnambool Motorsport team. Carson Macedo is running for the Dyson Motorsport team. So both of those teams are new teams to the World Series Trails. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go. Also joining for Speedway, so we've got Jason Johnson, 2016 Knoxville Nationals champion. He's running for Steve Stelfy. I think that's how you say his name. He's running for him again. That's the second time that he'll be running for that team, the Western Australian-based team. Corey Eliason, so he's from Selma in California. He is running. He's running again for Adam Curry. Corey's ran a number of shows so far this season, and he'll be looking to hit the ground running here for Speedway. He's certainly one of them. One guy has to look out for. But you look through the 4 Americans that are going to be running tonight for the opening round of World Series Sprint Cars and the Speedway Series, and it's certainly exciting. You've got numerous talent. You've got an established racer like Jason Johnson there, but then you've got some Carson Macedo, Dominic Scelzi, Corey Elias, and these guys are really strong guys for the future and really going to make a name for themselves in America, and then they're coming over here to test their wares as well. So we've got there, of course, all the heavy hitters, of course, but we've got some guys that are certainly my picks up. Well, obviously, Steve Lyons, he's going to be running, so that's with the Dave Horrell team, but that's Dave Horrell own team, but it's the same stuff that he'll be running for with the Halls Motorsport team. So he'll be strong there. Ryan Jones, Luke Dillon, both of those guys are proven winners at big events at Murray Bridge Speedo. So Ryan Jones, it's his home track, but Luke Dillon, those 2 drivers are certainly no slouches. Ryan Jones earlier this season beat Robbie Farfair and Square to win the opening round of the Ultimate Sprint Car Championship of South Australia. So we've got there. But that's all exciting. There's 47 cars nominated. I'm excited. It's the best thing. This is probably going to be the best year for World Series ever. I will put my thumb down and put my hand down and stomp my fist and say, yeah, that's it. So that's exciting and bring on the future because, World Series is certainly looking a bit bleak there over the last decade or so. So it's had, as I was saying, more troughs than peaks there. So with that, we've got 47 410 sprint cars running at Murray Beach Speedway. On the support program will be super sedans and street stocks. So it's going to be a big night of action tonight at Murray Bridge Speedway. But also what we're going to be doing, so with these previews, we're going to be doing this on a nightly basis. So what I'll do tomorrow, just to give you guys the heads up, I'll be doing a wrap-up from all the racing from tonight and then doing a preview for the next night, etc., sort of thing. We've also got the International Midget Series that starts. I'm wearing my Michael Stewart hat in that. So Michael Stewart's run the International Midget Series that starts now. And that's at Western Springs Speedway in Auckland in New Zealand. And then representing Australia, obviously Michael Stewart from Canberra, Thanking Shot from Western Australia, and youngster Caden Brown from here in Sydney. So it's going to be a huge one, but also we've got coming up in the coming days, we've got the Tulsa Shootout for Formula 500s, which are known as Micro 600s. And we've also got the Chili Bowl for midgets, so it's be early in the new year. So there's plenty of racing going on overseas as well, not just here on our land here in Australia. So we've also got Sydney's Valvoline Raceway, so the annual Boxing Day Australian Grand Prix. There's 58 cars nominated. Unlike previous seasons, there's not many Americans, there's just one, in Michael Buddy Coffide. So he's a 16-year-old teenage sensation from California. He's touted as the next Kyle Larson. That's quite a tag, but it'd be interesting to see how he goes because running up against the Parramatta Posse, there's 58 cars. So, the kid's obviously got talent, but let's just see what he's made of when he gets to Valvoline Raceway tonight and has a crack. So no doubt of his speed, but it's going to find the competition tough. So Robbie Farr, of course, he leads the charge. Sammy Walsh, the only dual feature race winner at Sydney's Valvoline Raceway. Then we've got Max Dumsney, Matt Dumsney, Marcus Dumsney, so the trio of Dumsneys are back. Grant Henderson, of course, won the season opener in spectacular fashion, so he's back for more. He'll be no doubt be running up the front. James Thompson, he's had a consistent start and as a result leads the Ultimate Sprint Car Championship point standings. Gary and Jordan Brazier, they'll be exciting. So Gary Brazier, our 6-time Australian champion, he'll be right up there at the front. He's shown good speed but not had much luck. The same with Jordan, his young son. Jordan's had plenty of pace, but not much luck has gone his way, and it's robbed him of probably more podium finishes than just the one that he's got so far this season. So, of course, we've got Jackson Delmont. He's a proven winner at Valvoline Raceway. He hasn't had the best of start to the season, but what better way to get your confidence up than have a strong running at the Australian Grand Prix. Ian Madsen, that's the big news that was released earlier this week, or but just before Christmas. So Ian Madsen, so he's the two-time and defending Knoxville Raceway Track champion. It was announced earlier this year that he'll be doing the World of Outlaws with the KPC team that he currently runs for. So they'll be doing the whole World of Outlaws schedule next year. But he's going to be running for his good friend Jamie Matheson. So the New South Wales number 49 car, he's going to be running that car for the Christmas New Year period at Valvoline Raceway. So it's really exciting to see Ian back. It's great to have both Madsen boys, even though they're running at different areas on the East Coast. I've got Grant Tunks, of course, Danny Reedy. Both of those guys are proven podium contenders. Alex Orr, he's been in some pretty good form this season, so he'll be knocking on for a good result. Benny Atkinson earlier this season picked up his first podium finish in 3 years at Valvoline Raceway, so he'll be back for more. Andrew Wright, I spoke to him last week about his comeback, and he's going to be right up there. Daniel Slayer, he's had a great start to the season, and as a result sits inside the top 10 of the USC New South Wales Championship standings. Then we've got Callum Williamson, so the Western Australian-based racer, he'll be there, and also Carl Dowling, another Western Australian-based racer. Carl Dowling in past seasons has come to Valvoline Raceway and raced over the Christmas New Year period, and he certainly carries some good form heading into his return to the East Coast after running third in the Western Australian title behind Jamie Veal and Caden Manders. So Carl Dowling, he's in some good form and he'll be looking to have a strong result there. Also, I noticed amongst the 58K nomination is Pa Farr, so Dennis Farr, so that's the father of Robbie Farr. He'd be pushing 70 now. If not, he'd be at 70. So he'd be easily the oldest sprint car racer in the country, if not come out around the world. So Robbie Farr's dad, Pa Farr Dennis. So he's running. He's having his first season first run for the season. He hasn't raced in 2 seasons. He had last season off. So with that, Pa Farr, just stay the trouble, mate, and keep living the dream. Also, we've got on the support cards, we've got 30 legend cars. So legend cars, huge field: Liam Heaton, Glenn Mitchell, Dan Morris, all the guys. Hayden Pascoe, so they'll put on a good show. MK Nationals, they'll be back. We've got Shane Cartwright, Spano Giritias, I think that's his name, and the consistent Terry Pankhurst. So those guys will be running up the front. So we go up north to Brisbane's Archfield Speedway in Queensland. They've got their first international meeting for the season. 14 sprint cars, 38 sprint cars have nominated. Amongst the nominations, of course, is current and 9-time World of Outlaws champion Donny Schatz. So he returns. He's running, his car. He's imported that out from Mark Cooper again as usual, and will be running up there for the duration of the Christmas New Year period. So who we're doing there? The second American is Logan Schuhart from Pennsylvania. He'll be running for John Weverall for the second season in a row. So Logan Schuhart has come off a strong run with the World of Outlaws, which included a maiden World of Outlaws feature race win, and he'll be looking to challenge Donny Schatz, no doubt, up there, and not just to make up the numbers. And speaking of not making up the numbers, the posse from Australia, so you got Andrew Shirley, Luke Oldfield, Mitchell G, Peter Lack, Brent Kratzman, Brian Mann, Alan Woods, Dave Well. You've got all those guys that are capable front runners and proven front runners. You've also got the young Bracraig again. You've got Dylan Menz, Cody Morosky, and Jaden Peacock. Also amongst the nominations, you've got Caden Manders. So Caden Manders is running the Queensland number 83 car for the Horrell Motorsport team. So that's the car that's usually driven by David Murcott, but with David Murcott on the road with the Victory Lane team. Caden Manders has got the job. I think this will be his third appearance for the team. And Caden will be one to watch. He certainly had been very strong on the West Coast, running at home with his second place in the recent WA title behind Jamie Veal. Also, an interesting nomination, Kevin Britton, the current V8 Dirt Modified champion. He has last season ran sporadic shows in the 410 sprint car, so he makes his first appearance for the season in a 410 sprint car. It's interesting to note that he has chosen not to run the opening round of the Mr. Modified series at Lismore Speedway, just down the road in northern New South Wales. So, but Kevin's opted to run the 410 sprint car, so which gives me an indication of what his future, where it lies and where he wants to see himself. Then we go over to the West Coast, so we've got the Perth Motorplex in Western Australia. 410 sprint cars, the opening round of the US versus Australia Speedway series. So back in the 90s, that used to be huge, and now it's making a resurgence. But two guys that I don't know a whole lot about, but they're exciting young talents. You've got Parker Price Miller and Ryan Smith. Both of those guys that might not be well known, but they are former World of Outlaws feature race winners. So Parker Price, he's from Kokomo in Indiana, so it's a huge area for open wheel races. And if you know Indiana, and the racing that comes out of there, the racing, if you want to be someone, especially in the non-wing and sprint car, you go to Indiana to build up your name. So it's certainly one area to get noticed. Then we've got Ryan Smith, he's from Pennsylvania. So Parker Price Miller, he's running for the Harding Racing team, so that's exciting. They've put together a deal with him, while Ryan Smith's running for the Kendrick Racing team. So it's exciting. It's great to see that the leading WA teams have got behind and supporting getting these Americans out, so we can have go back to the old days. Remember back in the old days, I'm sounding old. the age of 34. I'm sounding like I'm 50. But in the 90s, we had Randy Hannigan and all those guys. You had Donny Schatz back then. You had Paul McMahon, all these unknown Americans. We're talking for the mid to late 90s. Kenny Jacobs, one of the veterans. So really exciting, and hopefully WA can return that. There's only 18 cars nominated, but that's pretty good considering a number of their teams are on the East Coast. Obviously Motu Motorsport, Cricket Motorsport teams are on the road. World Series car, Dowling and Callum Williamson are here in Sydney at Valvoline Raceway. So, plenty of exciting racing going to be had tonight at the Perth Motorplex. So, in terms of locals, you've got Brad and Jamie Mialo, so the Mialo brothers. You've got Jason Kendrick. He'll be fired up. He's yet to win a feature race win this season. Finished on the minor podium finishes twice, I think. And, he'll be back hunting for a win. Of course, Ben Element, he recently made a return. He's a proven winner. Andrew Priola, who finished second in the opening round of the AHG series. Unfortunately, from there, his form's it's been a bit of bad luck for him. Let's put him out. And Jamie Oldfield, he hasn't done really strongly when he was running the 360, but since he's gotten to the 410, he's struggled a bit, and his results haven't been forthcoming. It was really exciting to see that I'm going to the 410, but since he's gotten to the 410, he's struggled. He's had a bit of bad luck, so things haven't went his way, but hopefully Oldfield is one determined racer and a talented one, and he'll be looking to bounce back to form and run up there at the front. So also on the programs, you've got the late models, speed cars, Formula 500s and wingless spreads at the Perth Motorplex. So plenty of racing to go on there. Then we go back to the East Coast. We go to Geelong's Avalon Raceway in Victoria. They're going to be running the Gold Cup, which doubles as the seventh round of the Eureka Garages and Sheds 410 Sprint Car Series. So we've got there 39 cars are nominated. Sean Dobson originally was going to be doing World Series Speed Week, but unfortunately he's unable to do that. And he's chosen to do Avalon Raceway, so he'll be running the David Dixon Motorsport team. So Sean's his proven winner at Avalon Raceway. He won the opening round of the Easter Trail there last season, so he'll be looking to start his Christmas New Year period off on the right note. Current series leader in the Eureka Garages and Sheds series is youngster Rusty Hickman. Rusty recently turned 18, and he is looking to consolidate his lead with yet another podium finish, if not a win. Currently running second in the point stands is Tasmanian Tim Hutchins. He's had a really consistent start, and as a result is up the top of towards the points. And Brett Milbourne, former Eureka Series champion, he's third in the point standings. Also amongst the nominations are Corey McCulloch, the Warrnambool youngster, showing plenty of fight this season. He recently ran third in the Victorian title. And then you've got John Vogels, of course, Tim Rankin. So it's plenty of races. Another driver to look out for, recently spoke with, is Luke Walker. Luke Walker last season had a premature end of his season due to a back injury that he sustained in a crash at the beginning of the season. Luke recently made a return to racing. He finished inside the top 10 of the Max's race, so that had heaps of stars, both here Australia and the American ones as well. And for Luke to bring home a top 10 result, there's no doubt that his confidence will be high heading into the tonight's action. Also, we've got modified sedans for the Christmas Cup. They're going to be running. So then we go way down south to Tasmania for Carrick Speedo. So Carrick Speedo is about 40 minutes outside Launceston for their Boxing Day Bonanza. This is the 20th running of this event. It's a 50th season for Carrick Speedway, so it's great. 14 sprint cars. They'll have about a dozen cars nominated, and you've got Jason Redpath and Mark Mozzie House to be up there running up the front. Super Sedans, we've got the annual Jeff Stagg Memorial. It'll be a hotly contested one. Another memorial event for the Formula 500s this time, and that's the Ken McKinnell Memorial. Also supporting AMCA Nationals, wingless sprints, modified sedans, and Tassie Sixes. Then we've got a number of races they're going to be running tonight, and then just to let everyone know, once again, if you've tuned in late, you're going to be doing weekend daily or nightly or daily updates and previews throughout the Christmas New Year period. So unfortunately, we're seeing a lot of me, but you don't have to look at me, you can just listen. And we've got that. So we'll continuing on with that. But yeah, guys, please like, comment, share. I really appreciate the support, people tuning in. So it's really much appreciated. Then we've got Adelaide Motorsport Park. They're running tonight in South Australia. So they're running, Adelaide Motorsport has been a cloud all over them this season. And so they've got Adelaide Motorsport Park in South Australia. They've got the Street Stock Stampede. That's the prelude to the Australian title, the national title for street stocks that's going to be held there later this season. Also, junior sedans are going to have a demo derby, and they've got a number of other non-speedway sort of things that are going on. We've got Bundaberg's Carina Speedway in Queensland. They've got late models, and they've got the US versus Australia showdown. So tonight is the opening night of two. They'll be running a double header. So with late models, you've got two Americans. So Cody Maone, I think that's how you say that, and Jason Smith. So they're the two Americans representing the land of Uncle Sam. And then we've got a small field of Australians. So the late model scene up in Queensland is not as strong as, say, in Victoria, New South Wales, or Western Australia for that matter. So, but they've got a good field, and also current Australian late model champion Callum Harper from Tasmania is going to be running. So that's going to be good to bolster the field. Also, we've got the Super Sedan Speed Week that's going to be running over the Summer Slam series that they're going to be running over the Christmas New Year period. And Callum's going to be running for the opening round. That's on the 28th of this month. That's at Gippy's Mother Mountain Speedway. So Callum's going to be running both late models and super sedans throughout this period. But he'll get tonight and tomorrow night, get some racing under his belt on the late model, and jump into the super for the rest of the Christmas New Year period. So then also on the support card for the Bundaberg's Carina Speedway is modified sedans, street stocks, junior sedans, Surface Paradise sedans, open sedans, and also Central Queensland sprint cars. Don't know a whole lot about them. I know that they're obviously not part of the SCCA, but they're running under obviously the insurance for Bundaberg's Carina Speedway. So be interesting to see what happens with them. So we've got Lismore Speedway, Northern New South Wales. That's where it's located. So the opening round of the Mr. Modified series, so that's round one. So it's going to be a 45 lap event with no stoppage or no pit stops. So there'll certainly be plenty of action going on. Mark Robinson, so the multiple Australian champion, he makes his return to V8 Modifieds after a 12-month break for his family and business commitments and all those sort of things. It's exciting to see Robbo back and wish him all the best. But Andrew Pizzuti, Scott Cannon, who won the 2016 Mr. Modified Series, they'll be pretty tough to beat. And you've also got the likes of Chris Colbert, who's the current Australian number 3, Andrew Firth, Nick Knott, and co. with there. So there's about 30 cars nominated for this event. Hopefully the weather's kind. So on the East Coast here, it's been a bit overcast Christmas Day and today as well. Also on the support cars, you've got RSA street stockers, you've got production sedans, modified sedans, and junior sedans. So there's plenty of action to go on tonight at Lismore Speedway. With the two-wheel variety at Curry Speedway in New South Wales, it's in the Hunter Valley, so that's about from where I'm based in Sydney, and Curry is about an hour and a quarter up the road heading towards Newcastle. And they've got the Jason Crump Classic Cup. There's a strong field. You've got 16 some of the most talented riders in the country heading that line. Jason Crump, our own 3-time Australian champion, or world champion, and multiple Australian champion. Also in the field, you've got Rowan Tungate, who starred as a reserve at the Australian Speedo Grand Prix, and that was at Etihad Stadium where he won two. He had 2 rides and got 2 wins, so 6 points in total. So coming in as a reserve. Also Sam Masters, Justin Sedgman, both guys that figured at the Australian Speedo Grand Prix. Newly crowned Victorian champion Jack Holder, Joshua Pickering, who's had podium finishes in both the recent Victorian and New South Wales titles. So both of those guys, those youngsters, Jack Holder and Joshua Pickering are going to be ones to look out for. We go further down south to Bairnsdale Speedway in Victoria, so that's just over the New South Wales Victorian border, so that's in the Gippsland area, and they've got their annual Boxing Day show. We've got VSC sprint cars are running, super sedans for round 3 of the Victorian series, and then you've got standard saloons, so that's the Bairnsdale 600 event, limited sportsman and wingless sprints, and compact speed cars. Also, they're going to be running a bit further up the road to Rosedale. They'll be running tomorrow night, so I'll no doubt touch on that tomorrow when it comes to the preview for that. Waganya Speedway, so on the New South Wales Victorian border, that's for right not far from Albury. Waganya Speedway, they've got their first meeting for the 2017-18 season, and the production sedans head the lineup with the Noel McGrath Memorial. That was the one last season by Brett Norman from Young in the Riverina district of New South Wales. So he'll be looking to go back-to-back, but Steve Laidlaw, who's celebrating his 40th season of Speedway racing, particularly in production sedans, and 30 years as the sponsored driver for Moe Engines. And so, Steve Laidlaw will be looking to get on top of the podium there. His car looks amazing. He's gone from that orange look that a lot of people know about, or will remember, to now running a blue car, so it looks really slick, and I like the look of it. So hopefully it goes as good as it looks. So good luck, Steve, and congratulations on 40 years of continuous speedway racing. Also on the program, we've got standard saloons, street stocks, sports sedans, Gosser sedans, junior sedans, and ladies standard saloons. So that completes the action at Waganya Speedway, and that completes today's weekend preview. Good luck to everyone. Once again, Merry Christmas. Hopefully everyone, now the racing started, good luck to everyone, and hopefully everyone can have a safe and successful run. Be safe on the roads. You're going to be doing a lot of travelling over the next month or so, so please be careful out there and don't push it if you need to racing from track to track. So take care, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. So I'll be doing the wrap up from tonight's action, and also doing a preview to the following night's action. So bring on the racing. Really excited, and thanks everyone for tuning in. Once again, please like, comment, share. Much appreciated the support, and go the Aussies over in New Zealand with Michael Stewart, Dane Kingshot, and Caden Brown for the International Midget Series at Auckland's Western Spring Speedway in New Zealand. So thanks, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.